Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed Luton Town 3, Bristol City 0. Bristol City up there in the top 6, Luton trying to prove themselves now at this level. This surely Luton's best performance of the season. I have seen them twice already this season where they've played well at Kenilworth Road and drawn both games, but they made it count today. They really made it count today with 3 second half goals to take down the Robins of Bristol City. Luton lining up. James Shea in goal. So Simon Sluga, the club record keeper signing, who's had a bit of an iffy start, goes out of the firing line. Luton haven't had a clean sheet yet this season, so maybe we don't see Mr. Sluga for a while after today. The back four is James Bree, Matty Pearson, Sonny Bradley and Dan Potts. Now, Martin Craney is nominally sitting in front of the back four, but he does spend a lot of the first half in a third centre-half position. Interesting that he was chosen there, not Butterfield. We've seen a few managers now going for this player who can switch between a 3 at the back and a back four. Obviously, we saw Bielsa's Leeds all the time with Calvin Phillips in the back four, but when it's actually a defender who can do both, it just might give you that bit of extra solidity. So Craney is in midfield. The rest of the diamond is Panzu, Tunnicliffe, Izzy Brown in the 10 position, and Cornick and Collins up front, as we always expect for Luton. Bristol City, remember, they're missing Callis, they're missing De Silva and Afobe for the season as well. So certainly suffering from injuries to a few players that would improve their team, but still up there and on a very nice run. Bentley in goal. Sorry about my throat today. Moore, Williams and Baker are the 3 centre backs. Hunt is the right wing back. Rowe, the left wing back. It's not really a number 10 as such in this midfield 3. It looks like Brownhill sitting and Palmer and Masengo are kind of rotating a bit, but Brownhill definitely the pivot to that midfield 3, with Vyman and Jeju up front. New free agent Rodri, the Spanish striker, on the bench. We're into the 6th minute. Vyman flies by Bradley here, crosses from the right, goes loose, dangerous moment. This cleared out. This is then worked across to Tommy Rowe, who hits the left footer. Shea spills that one. Vyman's charging in and it gets cleared away. Slightly iffy on the start there. From the corner, back in from the second phase. Rowe is in behind again. Looked a little bit offside. I need to see that one back. Goes round the keeper. Really, really tight angle. Puts it over the crossbar. Bit of a nervous start for Shea in goal, and noticeably Bristol City, obviously encouraged by Lee Johnson to go for the killer pass. They 3 or 4 times, even just in this first 10 minutes, they're trying to pierce the defence, even from quite far back, and with some success, it has to be said. So this was the first point I noticed. Martin Craney very much in between the centre halves there. Maybe a more natural midfielder would be slightly further forward. Big counter here. Brown does really well in the midfield, sidesteps his man. Potts is overlapping down the left as he does. Collins is on the near post, slid along the floor. If he gets there first, he's probably going to score this one, but it's helped wide, just trickles around the post and a corner given. So a Bristol City player has got something on that one. 12, Brown, dangerous set play from the right here, just helped behind the far post. I hoped it would be open, and it really, really was. Brown clips this one, back post here. Collins, he gets up, does really well, puts it to the back post. Where was Cornick, his strike partner there? Didn't quite read that one. Luton starting to make some chances now after Bristol City probably had the better of the opening few minutes here. Palmer is standing offside. I think Martin Craney gets a bit confused here because he heads it back to the keeper, which then obviously makes Palmer active again. But they get away with that one. Near suicidal header. You can see Bristol City are trying to close down the Luton fullback. So important in that tight midfield system that the fullbacks get forward. The press seemed to start with Bristol City players charging out and closing down those fullbacks. So the instructions seem pretty clear. Was it going to work though? They're letting the centre-halves have the ball, and this makes it pretty clear a couple of minutes later as Pearson, they just let him keep it. So he takes it, he comes up the pitch, diagonally inside to Brown. He's into the box, opens up. I think Cornick takes it off him, and Bentley makes the save. So important that the Luton centre-halves are brave in possession here while Bristol City are letting them have the ball here. Luton forward again, cleared out. Big hit from Mpanzu on target here. Looks like it's going, and there's a few bodies to go through, but Williams throws himself at it and makes a really good block there. Here's the closest anyone comes. 28th minute, Luton are going to hit the post. Nice play down the left. The game seemed to be constantly in transition with one or other team counter-attacking. Here come Luton this time. It's Potts down the left, inside to Mpanzu. He then plays it inside to Brown. Takes a touch. Everyone yells, shoot. Brown gets out of his feet, shoots it, and it smashes against the post. Really unlucky. Comes out. Tunnicliffe gets blocked in the follow-up, the closest anybody has come there. Lovely clip over by the top here by Williams. Vyman chasing in behind. Again, they go for the killer pass right through the defence. He holds it up, turns back around. Shay's driving back towards his goal. He chips it over. Jeju's at the far post, but it just flies by the post there. Across, or well, what I'm saying is basically that's the only place he could have chipped it where either Jeju doesn't follow it in or it drops into the goal. So a good moment there again from just trying to play the key pass right through the defence for Bristol City there. Nice little cameo from Noah Masengo. First time I've seen him, remember, 18 years old. Not the most lively game today, but one lovely little pirouette and slide past. Who was it who took him down? Pearson. So he's bedded in quite well and has got more game time than I thought maybe he would have had. Brown drops his shoulder now on Masengo. Delicious cross here from the right by Izzy Brown. Collins throws himself at it, cannot get the contact there. Nice play. Tunnicliffe this time runs for Collins. Long range by him over the top. We're coming up half time now. Brown to Tunnicliffe to Potts to Mpanzu. Low right footer here. Bentley down well. Big right paw saves that one. You can see Luton are edging this half, can't you? Half time whistle goes. Bristol City's best moments in these half, not direct as in long ball, but when they got in the transition, they try to play the killer balls, particularly for Vyman, for his pace. They do get in a couple of times, but can't take advantage. Luton more in possession, still in transition on counter-attacks, particularly with Potts down the left-hand side, and Brown hits the post, and a couple of more, how shall I say, more built-up penalty box chances there. So the upside for Luton looked a bit better in the second half. I thought they just edged it, but both sides looking very, very dangerous. Graham Jones makes the substitution at half-time. On comes Luke Bolton for James Bree. I mentioned that Potts had got forward and Bree had struggled, so to speak, against Rowe. So Bolton comes in to have a go in the second half. At right back, Izzy Brown, corner, 49, headed up in the air. Collins has got a bit of time here. He might have been able to bring this down. He's in the middle of the penalty box, strangely from a corner to have a bit of time. Swivels, volleys that one over. Maybe quick touch and a turn and a shot there, but he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. We watching from the stand can see all that. Tunnicliffe closed through more for a yellow card on 50. And here we come to the key part here where Luton basically win this game with a quick double boof. They make the chances count here in this period. We're on 55 minutes and it's a brilliant goal from Pelly Ruddock and Mpanzu here. He's in off the left-hand side. I think Collins plays him onto it. And he's in motion as soon as he gets the ball. He stands his man up, coming in from the corner of the area on the left-hand side. Is he going to go left? Feints that way, comes in on the right hand side. It opens up ever so slightly. There's bodies in the box ahead of Bentley, but Bentley's not saving this, however many people there are in the box. It's a right footer. I'm sat right behind this one, and it comes from outside the post, curls right the way into the side net in one of those lovely moments when you're watching the game and everything, you get that second silence as it just floats, hits the net. Great goal by Mpanzu, who has been a bit hit and miss the last 2 times I've seen him, but you can always see there's a decent quality player there, and this was a real bit of quality for 1-0 to Luton. Now Lee Johnson immediately reacts to this. He takes out Taylor Moore and goes to a back 4. He brings in O'Dowda. He takes off Casey Palmer as well, who had looked like a decent creative force there, and brings in Nicholas Eliasson. So he goes 4-2-3-1 now. So Moore out of the back 5 makes it a back 4. You've got Brownhill and Masengo sitting in midfield. You've got inverted wingers with Eliasson coming inside from the right, O'Dowda coming inside from the left, with Vyman behind Jeju. Now, they make the substitution, they make their intent fairly clear, but it's very, very open. They haven't got their shape right, they haven't got the possession right, and as they give the ball away here, they're going to give Luton the second goal. So no sooner has he made the tactical switch than Luton punished them again. It's given up in midfield. Brown gets it, and this is real quality number 10 play out of his feet. He plays it right through in between the left back and the centre back. Cornick has got good pace here. Through he goes onto it, and it's really good composure from Cornick because he comes from a long way back. I think he probably takes a couple of touches. His first touch is good because he knocks it ahead of him, which gives him a long time to take a look at this. I think then, I've only seen this in real time, it's another touch to stand the keeper up. I think Bentley expects him to go across, but what Cornick does really well, he just says, no, I'm in control of this situation. You're not saving this. He goes around him the other side so he doesn't go across the keeper. Waits for Bentley. Hits it firmly into the corner of the net. We said transitions happening over and over again. Quick, boof, through ball, Cornick in, 2-0. And this literally just knocked Bristol City out, because from this moment, they just had the whole pizzazz, the oomph, the chutzpah, the whatever taken out of their game at this point. Killer 5 minutes, and Luton are 2-0 up. Jeju gets a yellow on Pearson, frustration not long after that, and that's the last thing he's going to do, because here comes Rodri, the free agent Spaniard who'd been brought in on 63, and on 69 Rodri is going to hit the post. He's quite unlucky, mixed with a pretty good save by Shea in goal for Luton, who's definitely keeping his place, isn't he? Eliasson, we said inverted wingers. He comes in on his left foot. The angle's narrow, so he just floats it, curling in. It's got good pace on it. Rodri glances the header. Good effort. Shea down to his right, tips that one on to the post. Unlucky, good save. 2 things can be true there. Well played everyone really on that one. Big chance on 72 here for 3-0. It's stolen by Bolton on the right hand side. Again, here comes the counter-attack. Sitting back and picking them off now, aren't they? On to Cornick, who centres. Brown is with Collins. Brown has the ball in the 10 position. All he's got to do is control it and set Collins in. All about the time, and he gets that part right. In goes Collins. This time, Bentley makes the save. Collins with the right foot. I've got nothing against James Collins. I'm just making an observation that I was here for the Millwall game where he could have scored a hat-trick and could have scored here today. But you know what they say about strikers. As long as you're in the positions, having the chances, you know that the goals will come. And I have no doubt of that for James Collins. But that probably should have been 3-0, shouldn't it? McManaman comes in for Brown. Just a little slight tweak. Cornick goes over to the left-hand side. McManaman to the right, which means they can adopt Luton a 4-5-1 position in defence and do exactly what they want to do, which is to sit back and blast on the counter-attack, knowing that they've got a 2-0 lead and the points are in the bag if they can just have 15 minutes of a clean sheet here. And Panzu gets a yellow card for time wasting here. Sorry, did I say McManaman came on for Brown? I don't think I even said that. Luar comes in for Cornick. He's just a bit more of a winger to operate that position. Good showing from Cornick today. Crossed in from Rodri. He has the ball in the net here. He's offside on 88. Up goes the 5 minutes, and Rodri, he did look lively actually, to be fair. He gets it on the right hand corner of the box, works the defender, smashes it maybe through his legs or just round him, and it just flies by the far post. He had the ball in the net, he hit the post, and he flies one just past the post. So some encouragement from Rodri. Looked reasonably lively today in his 30 minutes of cameo. Hunt absolutely smashes and pans it. This was quite funny actually, because he makes a foul and the ref lets it go. So he could have got booked for the first foul and ends up getting booked for the second one down in the corner. And they're going to pick them off for 3-0 to make this look like a right old hammering here. Luton. Vyman's coming forward. They fancy a consolation. Surely they think Luton can't pick them off again, but they can. Vyman runs with Brownhill. I guess that's the key, because the midfield insurance is now gone. Vyman goes down. He wants a free kick. Ref says no. Here comes the counter-attack. I think, is it Collins that brings it clear? Not the best view in the main stand in Luton. It's played on to Tunnicliffe, who works his way down the left-hand side. You think, is he going to run it into the corner? He does not. He carries on towards the edge of the penalty box. Lovely low cross from the left. Ashley Williams cannot see where Dan Bentley is. Dan Bentley cannot see where Ashley Williams is. Williams slides in, faces his own goal, gets a toe on it and angles it right in to the empty net. It is an own goal by Williams, and there you go. Sometimes you don't have to take it into the corner, and attack is the best form of defence. 3-0 to Luton in stoppage time. There, wow, what a good win for the Hatters. As I said, I don't recall, I think possibly 18th today, but on a run that was 7 points in the last 6 games. Yeah, if you're Luton, you're looking to hit 46 to 50 points to stay in the division, basically having just come up from League One. But they're putting a decent total on early, and the 3-pointers at home in games like this where they're at it and they're playing well, they need the 3-pointers. And my worry, having seen Luton a couple of times, is I thought they played well against Millwall and against Middlesbrough, the 2 games I've seen, but they didn't win either of those games. And so I'm pleased for them today that they do get the win. In terms of Bristol City, I thought they were in the game. I thought it could have gone either way. Whoever comes out and starts the second half well. And really, I know it's a big cliche, but it was whoever was going to get the first goal today, because it was a bit basketballing, a bit transitioning. They could then just tweak their game slightly and pick off the other team. Both teams want to play that way. A bit of pressing and a lot of quick transitioning. So first goal, absolutely vital. I think Bristol City are still in a pretty good place. As I said, you put Callas and De Silva into that team and you add in a little bit more quality as well. First time I've seen Masengo, he looks fine. I think everyone seems to know their roles, but it was one of those ding-dong battles where, as I said, a goal goes in and you're beaten, and Luton just edged that start of that second half and got that first goal. I wouldn't be too worried if I were a Bristol City fan. Remember, that third goal went in. It's a 3-game week. You never know. You can still score 6 points during the week. And we all know that Lee Johnson's on an upward trajectory and kind of onto the right thing here. So hopefully, I don't know who Bristol City have got in the midweek, but they would look for 4 points or 6 points, hopefully, for their point of view, to try and get this one out of the system as quickly as possible. Luton, yeah, really good. Worked really well today. First half could have gone either way. Luton edged it. Brown hitting the post coming closest. I was a bit concerned that maybe they didn't have that deep line playmaker in Butterfield, and that Craney made it a little bit more stodgy. But Luton get a lot of their attacking prowess from fullbacks coming forward and those 3 midfielders rotating. It worked really well. The quick Double punch of goals, real quality from Mpanzu for the first goal. And then they did such a great job of sitting back and picking Bristol City off at the counter-attack for those last 2 goals for Cornick and the own goal for Williams. So I think the size of it today is that even though it was 3-0 right up until that first goal, could have gone either way. And then Luton doing a really great job of picking off Bristol City. And in the end, really good value for the win here at Kenilworth Road. Get your ideas for man of the match in the comments if you were here. You would think possibly Brown or Pelly Ruddock and Panzer, especially with that goal. Always like the look of Potts as well when I'm watching Luton. He adds so much to them. You can see why Stacey and Justin enjoyed playing fullback for Luton last season. Get to maraud all the way up and down the pitch. Let me know your feelings in the comments. If you're a Luton fan, more of this is exactly what you want, isn't it? Winning those home games where you're playing well, picking up what you can away from home, trying to be over a point per game, and I think that's realistic for this season, and just keep the club building. Remember where Luton were a few years ago, a long way further down. And if you're a Bristol City fan, I wouldn't panic too much after this one. Both teams were punching and swinging, and Luton just landed the knockout, and you move on, you take the defeat. End of the unbeaten run. Do you think Lee Johnson can bring this one back, and are you missing Mr. Callas and Mr. De Silva maybe in this first team? Or is it Mr. Afobe you're missing the most? Let me know what you think in the comments. Apologies for my gravelly voice today. I haven't been screaming and shouting, so I don't know why it seems to have gone, but there you go. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. There's loads of championship stuff coming this week, and indeed. And also you can support me on Patreon if you enjoy what I do. I'd love to do more of this and have more time to do it. So I've set up a Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you very much for watching, where for the first time Luton really kind of get what they deserve when I've seen them this season. It was Luton 3, Bristol City 0. Over and out.